It is Wednesday, November 26th, and the person behind the Seditious Six has been identified. Former CIA Director John Brennan, the White House says they believe may have orchestrated all of this, possibly involved in writing the script, sending the script to these Democrats, all in an attempt to create a predicate for a 2026 impeachment against the president. The White House Deputy Chief of Staff going even further, saying he believes this was the beginning of a larger plot that was foiled, what's known in clandestine services as a color revolution. Wait till you see this. The FBI now investigating, conducting interviews, Democrats urging their colleagues to lawyer up, take the fifth. Also, President Trump ending all diplomatic ties today with South Africa, suspending all aid, including the portion South Africa receives from the $12 billion we send to sub-Saharan Africa each year. And the Georgia election interference case brought by Big Fannie Willis has been dropped. Trump off the hook, officially cleared.
All right, Mr. Miller, what should happen to the Seditious Six?
Well, they should be held accountable under the law and under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for a seditious conspiracy against the United States of America. This is completely open and shut, straightforward. What is the motivation? Why would 6 members of Congress, selecting specifically for individuals with a CIA or military background, record a carefully written, carefully produced, slickly edited video messaging directly to members of our clandestine services and our armed forces, telling them to disobey orders from their superiors, telling them that they should individually determine whether an order is legal or illegal and defy it. Individuals who are exercising life and death powers. For what purpose would you ever deliver this message? As you said, it's to create a color revolution. It is the CIA playbook for trying to foment insurrection from within the military and within the CIA.
It's John Brennan, says General Michael Flynn. General Flynn confirming this morning that he knows for a fact that former CIA Director John Brennan orchestrated all of this, the entire Seditious Six plot, that he's been colluding with members inside and outside of government to undermine this country, that Brennan works with this small group of rogue intel officials from CIA who possibly wrote the script that the Seditious Six used in that social media video. But the plot went sideways, he says. It was actually intended to be used as a predicate for a future Trump impeachment when they take back Congress next year. But instead, it backfired.
John Brennan, who's the culprit? Like, who's behind it? Who's the operational commander running the color revolution, this coup d'etat that is continuing to go here against the United States of America? The guy who's at the head of it is John Brennan. And John Brennan, and I hope he's listening, because he listens. I know he does. He knows exactly. Sometimes when I put stuff out, I get all kinds of hate mail, right, from different people. Yeah, with his shit-eating grin. President Trump actually could and should bring this guy in immediately. Put him under the lights and have him answer questions about what he's been doing. Now, let me tell you what I know that he's been doing, okay? John Brennan has been colluding with with people inside of our government. Okay, what I just said is very damaging and very damning. So inside of our government, he's been colluding with people outside of the government that recently served in our government to undermine not only President Donald J. Trump, but to undermine the United States of America.
Did you consider?
Democrats now know these members screwed the pooch. They messed up bigly when they made that video, and now they need to have their leader, Minority Leader Jeffries, bail them out. Hakeem Jeffries coming out today and telling these 6 representatives to ignore the FBI, ignore DOJ, do not cooperate with this investigation.
As the Democratic leader, do you believe your members should sit for interviews with the FBI?
There's no basis to this FBI investigation unless the FBI actually presents credible evidence as to why they are seeking to interview these 4 members of the House and 2 members of the Senate. Then I think we have to look at this whole request skeptically again. It was Donald Trump who ordered the FBI and the Department of Justice to investigate these members. He accused them of treason. He threatened them with death. And so it's not clear why we should take this investigation credibly. This is not something where the FBI is trying to follow the facts, apply the law, and be guided by the Constitution.
Why are they being instructed to not sit for an official FBI interview? Plead the fifth. Don't answer any questions under any circumstances, because there is more to this. And just like what happened during Trump 1.0, how Comey used the FBI to interview Trump aides, entrapped them, lying to the FBI, it's a felony. Remember all the indictments that came in 2017? They entrapped Michael Flynn, so many others, with simple FBI interviews. The White House officially warning that a rogue element inside the CIA are still attempting to trigger a soft coup to remove Trump from office. And all of it started, they say, with this video. Conservatives now calling for all communications to be subpoenaed after Ruben Gallegos reveals accidentally how a seditious script was sent out for this video, that he received a copy of the script. He was supposed to partake in this video, but he says he didn't have the time, or more likely his team told him, as a former Marine, Senator, you can't participate in this. You can't read this script. It's illegal.
Why were you not part of this video?
Yeah, actually, so I was part of the first video. The second video is by the time the script got to me and it was in the middle of a lot was going on, I just didn't have time to actually record it, but I'm 100% in alignment with them altogether. This stuff happens. You know, it just happened not to end up being a recording. There's really no other 3D chess to this.
The logistics of human life. What is your level of trust in the U.S. military justice system, if it were to get that far, to handle this?
I trust them actually a lot, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, these are professionals. They are also swearing to the Constitution of the United States. They know that there will be fallout and consequences if they are used in a hard way to basically railroad someone like Senator Kelly, because Donald Trump's going to be gone a couple of years. And if you're part of the military that is going after sitting senators, sitting members of Congress, and part of, the weaponization of government, there will be consequences, without a doubt. So, I think there's going to be a lot of officers that are going to be part of this, potential tribunal, if they want to call it that. They're going to be looking over their shoulders because they know that Donald Trump will be gone and they will not have that protection. They're going to have to do the safest thing possible, which is follow the Constitution of the United States.
In another story, President Trump cutting off the country of South Africa today, ending all U.S. foreign aid to this country immediately. Good riddance. Last year alone, we sent around $500 million in aid to South Africa. Trump saying he's doing this because of the horrific human rights abuses endured by Afrikaners. To put it more bluntly, he says, because they're killing white people. Writing on X, the U.S. did not attend the G20 in South Africa because the South African government refuses to acknowledge or address the horrific human rights abuses endured by Afrikaners and other descendants of Dutch, French, and German settlers. To put it more bluntly, they're killing white people and randomly allowing their farms to be taken from them. Perhaps worst of all, the soon-to-be out-of-business New York Times and the fake news media won't issue a word against this genocide. That's why all the liars and pretenders of the radical left media are going out of business. Therefore, at my direction, South Africa will not be receiving an invite to the 2026 G20, which will be hosted in Miami, Florida next year. South Africa has demonstrated to the world they are not a country worthy of membership anywhere, and we are going to stop all payments and subsidies to them effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, Trump warned South Africa a few months ago this will happen. He told their president in the Oval Office, shape up, admit what your country's doing, or you're done. Your relationship with the U.S. will be over.
What will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously. I'd rather have him answer. Yeah, I'd rather answer. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah,
thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. We don't ever want to do. We can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament. Yes, Honorable Member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Namaza. Whether they like it or not, if they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses.
That was a few months ago. Mainstream media at the time, if you recall, they denied this was happening. They laughed about it, laughed that white people could possibly be persecuted in this world, in South Africa, even though there's so much evidence that people have been killed over there for simply being white. If you're white and you own land in that country, you have a target on your back.
Whether you live on a farm or whether you live in the suburbs. In 2011, they brutally and savagely murdered my wife's grandfather. They did not ask where he was born. He was born in Austria. However, when they saw the color of his skin, they did not ask where he was from. They savagely tortured him, strangled him, burnt him, and then murdered him. Before they did this, they also raped his wife in front of him to death. Yes, several men raped her to death. So living in South Africa is not for the faint-hearted.
One of the major political parties over there, the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, it's this radical populist party in South Africa, and they say it out loud all the time. They talk about it. The party, they advocate for policies like land confiscation against white farmers. The government just takes private land. They double social grants, even expropriate private property without compensation. There's case after case of this. Here's the founder of the EFF admitting during an interview last year, even saying, we may call for the killing of whites in the future in South Africa. We haven't done so yet, but we may. Watch.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we have not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now.
I can't give a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now.
Why in the world would we be sending tax dollars to this country, $500 million, and our tax money being sent away year after year to this country. Let me know if you agree with the president. Should we be allied with a country like this, sending our money to a country whose government hasn't done a thing about this, won't even admit it's happening? I don't think so. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.